17, it's 18, 17 and 18. You draw first. So, 2. Gone, really done. Play well. I wrestle for the picture next to me and appreciating him. Get the whole account. First, Jamie Williams made that buggy here on Thursday. I can't remember why you're right. But he did on Friday, the last couple of days. So he has to race that first round memory from his mind. That's how I'm sure he's completely in this moment of being. Of course, Colin Birdie Thursday and Saturday here. So not a difficult picture, just some sort of fun again in the short grass.
Oh, I thought you opened your screen. Like, see, yeah, it's kind of still going a little sluggish a little bit.
Looks fine right now.
Okay. Well, what's going on though with your brother?
Nothing much. Nothing much. I was
taking a little vacation.
I thought I was gonna be listening to you and Jay Carl go back and forth.
Nah, me and Jay Cargo, what we're gonna do, we're gonna do a little preliminary for him and stuff. We just gonna have a little discussion and, you know, get to know each other, introduce each other. I mean, we wore, I wouldn't say that we wore, but we spar a little bit, a little dose of what have you, with our disagreement, with our different fundamental approaches on how, when we examine history, I'm more that adopts the more contemporary approach, and he, you know, and I respect that from having in that regard. So he uses the Afrocentric scope, you know, and we were just going to get to know each other. Then, based on the outcome of our discussion, we was going to determine on what format and what we was going to specifically debate about. But unfortunately, I mean, he's busy. He lived in ATL and what have you stuff. I guess it didn't go through, and maybe we can do that on a later time after stuff. And that's what we was going to do. And I mean, you'll holler at me later on. You know, we're all grown folks. We all got, you know, besides this, man, this ain't nothing. What happens? So we all got lives to live, a life to live, and we got priorities, and we got things that, you know, that's more way important than just sitting here talking like a, you know, what have you. But I mean, we'll have a good discussion with Jay and what have you stuff. Yeah. And maybe in the future you can have a chit chat with Jay. Yeah, I mean, we talk shit, you know, on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. You know, my contention is a lot of that stuff that about the Afrocentric is fabricated, it's erroneous, it's flawed, it's feel good, and it's based on skank. If anything, that's evidence is skank, it's pseudo, and what have you. And of course, because I'm a person, when I do, like my field is psychology and sociology, but for the last few years, I've been so preoccupied just debunking and dispelling the misconceptions and the dubious misunderstanding about, you know, science and history. You know, that's my approach. You know what I mean? Just like you have your approach, and you're more of a person that utilizes common sense, analogy, and like I always told you, you're a master of what we call Occam-Razor. Occam-Razor, just, you know, you see something, you the way you are, bro, and you bring it to simplicity. Cut all the red tape, cut all the complexity to the dynamic, and not the minutes, the complexity of it. Don't get me wrong, but where you are, with your scope in your mind, you condense it and you bring it in more simple, you know, form. I mean, me, you already know I use technical and complex words and a complex concept. Something, you know, and that's why I respect what you do. I know.
He's gone. Gary, where you at? You dropped. Well, since this is my show, I'm Angel Snubnub 7, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. And
I'm in a bad area, man.
I was just taking over your show. I said, well, since he's gone, the show still roll when you dropped off. The show still keep going on. I said, well, since he's gone, I'll take over.
I can't even hear you, bro.
You can't even hear me? Okay, well.
I'm the host, and I'm in a bad area. That's the reason why I don't hear you. and what have you. Shit, I apologize for that, man.
Okay,
well, stuff. I'm glad that we did. You know, I'm glad. You know, not glad, but you know, it was good because I was going to finally have a discussion via StreamYard, and I was going to have a discussion with Jay.
Yes.
And it's good that now that I realize that, you know, me and you just shooting the shit, but all we was going to have a serious discussion. And I know we having a serious discussion, but we was going to finally meet each other and we're having stuff on this. And we was going to break down what we was going to actually discuss and what we was going to determine what we wanted to debate. And now, just talking to you, shit screwed up.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe it is what happened, shit. Because right now you're freezing up. And you sound like you're on the water, and I'm sure I'm probably sounding the same damn way too.
No.
You know.
We'll
I can't even hear you.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can open the thing for like at least 30 minutes. Open one up for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You open one up since you're at script, and I'll go to where you're at. Okay. Now they're gonna think we some goddamn Donald Trump white power when we're doing this shit. All them racist ass motherfuckers. Boy, that motherfucker. Hey, I told you Donald Trump is exposing all these goddamn racist motherfuckers. People that I went to school with, they've been exposed, bro. I don't even want to look at they. They better not come around.
Hey. Hey. All righty then.
Hey, appreciate you. Hey, man, I really appreciate you. I'm in the sun or whatever. I'm in the front. I'm using my phone now.
Okay.
Can you hear me real good there, Brother Taalik?
Oh, yeah.
Good, good. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
And, appreciate it. Now I bet somebody takes me to get online. Now you want to go. Yeah, man. Real quick, man. I heard now. I went back to go review, and I heard Sister Nova talking about. I heard her.
Yeah.
But and when I went back on my Facebook right before I got on the here, I heard her talking, and I was just checking the thing. And I heard her. She was talking about what she seen at the protest, right?
Yes.
Ain't that, yeah. So what I seen her videos while she's in Atlanta with the protest, and you know she's walking through and she showed that people was up there damaging, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But what if you don't mind talking? I mean, I know you'll say something in behalf of her for the right thing. But what's going on though, bro?
Well, right now, of course, you know she lives in Atlanta. And she's boots on the ground. She wanted to go see the scene where all that happened at the Wendy's, the police Wendy's shooting. So she's taking footage of that. She said she got like 20 minutes worth of video or more. And we'll be posting that, and as soon as she gets a chance to be able to do that. So that's what's happening with that. I think she said she got a couple of interviews with some of the protesters who was down there. Got a chance to talk to some of the people, things of that nature. So, but I posted a video by another YouTuber. Prophet called himself the Prophet of Doom. And I know that
I've seen it.
Yeah, you seen that? And the reason why I posted it is because I agree that I disagree with his viewpoint. But the brother, of course, should not have ended up resulting in his death. But at the same time, you got a lot of folks here. He made bad choices. The police made bad choices. And it just escalated, got worse. And in these situations, you don't have a gun. You don't have nothing. You are not in the best position. There's only one conclusion that's going to happen. That means you going to the morgue. Now, technically, that brother, he was not driving. We assume that he was driving drunk and passed out in the Wendy's drive-thru. But you can't prove that he drove. Maybe somebody else drove the car and left him there. We don't. You can only assume. You can't. Unless you go get the surveillance cameras or something like that. But you don't have time to go through to do all that. So we assume he's not driving. So technically he's parked. He's not driving drunk because he's parked. Now the police roll up. Now the manager, the people in the Wendy's, they could have easily went out there, knock on the window. Hey man, you need to move your car. But see, we have a problem here because you're dealing with a person that's drunk, and if you let that person just drive off in his car, and you hear on the news 6 children was hit by a drunk driver not too far from the Wendy's, and it turned out to be that guy, you're gonna feel real bad that you just let him go like that. Because you can't, drinking impaired can cause some serious problems. So you have to call the authorities, and the authorities did come. Now, once the authorities got there, and they seemed like they had a cordial conversation going back and forth, according to the video. You watched the video that brother had, and it seemed like they had a nice cordial conversation until it got to the point where they wanted to put the handcuffs on him. Under the law, and Sister Noah told me, and it's probably the same way everywhere, under the law, they suspect you of drinking and driving, whether, you can be arrested and taken to jail. So
I got you by my ear. That's
yeah. So because of drinking the brother done put himself in a bad position, because when you're drinking like that, your thinking ability is impaired. And so the problem starts when they want to arrest him. Now, they could have handled it differently. They didn't have to take him to jail. You don't always have to go by the book and take people to jail. They could have told him, you're going to have to walk home. We're going to park this car over here. It should be, you know, your car should be all right. And we're going to take the keys to the precinct. You're going to have to come and get your keys from the precinct. And, you know, and we hope that you have a nice night. They could have handled it that way, but they didn't. They decided they wanted to arrest him. And chances are, the way it's supposed to go, it's according to what Wendy. If Wendy allowed the car to stay on their property, I guess it would have been all right. But usually what they do is impound the car, take you to jail so that you can sleep it off, and they'll give you a ticket and a fine or whatever, and you got to go to court and all that in the next morning. That's a better option than the morgue. But this man decided he's going to fight. I mean, and he's not a little guy. He was able to deal with two police officers. And really, I'm shocked that he didn't get shot off the flip. Because in most cases, when you act that way, you shot off the flip. There is no taser. They decided to try to taser him. It wasn't working. And he kept doing his thing. He hustled, he fought with them on the ground, was able to get one of the tasers and started running. And that's where he made his mistake. And so now you would think that it's a messed up situation, because the man is drunk. The police officer didn't have to shoot him. He's drunk. How far is a drunk gonna get? And plus, you know who it is. It's not like it's a secret. It's not like he's some drug kingpin or some felon or, you know, somebody dangerous. The man got a used taser in his hand, running, silly guy, going out into the darkness. You can catch him tomorrow. You know who he is. Grab him tomorrow. But that's not what happened. And see, this is the problem with Caucasian officers in black neighborhoods, because they don't have that kind of empathy. They might have done that with a Caucasian guy or anybody. But there's something that is called, it's racism. It's a bias and a prejudice. It's always white cop, black man, or some black person. Always. It's not an Asian cop, black person. It's not a black cop, black person. It's always them. There's a reason. There's got to be a reason for that. This is consistent. Always consistent. And even these people are not even thinking, with all the George Floyd stuff going around, they still so hyped up into their mentality, their mindset, they're still not thinking. They could have let that man run. They know who he is. He's not dangerous. It's not against the law to be a drunk walking around. It's against the law to drink and drive. They could have handled the situation in a better way. But I would say, quite honestly, it could have been handled much differently. But I would say that really, if you took this before a jury, if you took this case before a jury, you can get emotional all you want to, but if the jury has to bring a verdict according to the law, it's justifiable homicide. That's what it is, whether we like it or not. Things could have been handled differently on both ends. Bruh should not have been drinking and driving. First mistake. And you so drunk you pass out in a drive-through window, drawing attention to yourself. It's not like you passed out in the park on the side of the street, you passed out in a place that drew attention to yourself, which sooner or later is going to draw attention to the cops going to come. And you started all this unnecessary problem. It could have been handled differently. But again, according to the law, and look at this man. Now you got to understand this too, because if I was a defense attorney, this brother, he don't look like he was a little guy. And the cop could easily say, they could have shot him off on the flip, because they could have easily said the man was trying to punch me in the face, trying to hurt me. I fear for my life, because you can't kill somebody with your hands. So he could have been shot from the flip. So I understand because of the George Floyd thing, everybody upset or whatever. But this whole situation, just bad decisions all the way around. And really, we should not have, it would not be advisable to continue to have Caucasian men coming into urban areas, because we end up dead. Now, if these Caucasian officers come into these urban areas and the people decide to pick them off with rifles or whatever, they'll stop coming because they end up dead. And nobody said nothing. I didn't see nothing. The cop was eating in Wendy's. There was 20, 30 people in there. I ain't seen nothing. They'll stop coming because they don't want to risk their life coming into urban areas, because they end up dead. So you come into the area, we end up dead. You come into the area, and you can also end up dead. Just stop bringing these Caucasian men into the neighborhood, into these urban areas, because something here is wrong. This is a consistent pattern that's been going on for decades. So I see both sides. I do see justifiable homicide. But also at the same time, these cops, because who they are. If it was a black police officer, I'm not going to say if it was a black police officer might have done the same thing. I don't know. But I do know from other police officers that you don't have that kind of consistency of ended up dead. But with them, with Caucasian police officers, you can end up dead. And this is consistent. This is a pattern for decades, as long as I was a little boy. So at least 40-some years. You need to keep them out unless you're bringing them in to kill us. Unless you're bringing them in to kill us. And really, under the law, see, it's a whole messed up thing, because you cannot punish somebody for doing their job. Police officers, judges, lawyers, a lot of people, they fall under this law. I forgot what it's called. You cannot, doctors, you cannot, it's very difficult to sue them, charge them with anything. I was just doing my job. In order to sue a doctor for malpractice, you have to really show malicious intent, negligence. That's very difficult to do, because I'm a human being. I can make mistakes. But did you go beyond that? You went to a place where you knew that this could cause harm, and you done it anyway. It's very difficult to prove. Very difficult to prove. I think that Sister Nova called me back.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on this live stream with Gary.
I know. I understand.
I'm
Can I
getting.
be on the live stream? Can
Huh?
I be on the live stream?
Say what? You want to come on? Okay, that'd be cool. Let me send you the link to the Facebook. That'll be better. Huh? I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send a link to the Facebook. I'm sending you the link to the Facebook right now. Okay.
I ain't got no internet service either. By the way, I ain't got no internet service on my phone. I ain't got no internet service on my phone, dude.
Well, you can't get on Facebook. I mean.
I thought I was gonna be able to do it through the phone.
Yeah.
But I can't even. I ain't got no internet service on my phone.
Oh shit! Where you?
I'm out and about. I'm out and about. So the original plan was to go get something to eat.
Yeah.
But I decided to bring my ass up here because I wanted to see the burnt down Wendy.
Yeah.
And so I got caught up in the protest. You know, I got caught up in the protest.
Yeah.
You know, so I got 3 very good videos that I will be uploading.
Oh, okay.
So, man, I'll tell you, boys, it's been an interesting day.
I didn't know that you. I thought you could go. There's nowhere in the Atlanta area that you could go and not catch internet service on your phone.
Hey, I'm telling you, I ain't got no data. No data.
Mm-hmm.
No data. Data. On my phone. Because, see, I don't pay for internet service. I don't pay it on my phone. Because I don't need it. I really don't. You know what I mean? I really don't need it on my phone.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So I don't pay for. I'll pay like $20 on it. That's all I pay for the phone bill.
Okay.
That's all I pay.
Well, we can hear you because I got the.
I ain't got the coronavirus while I'm protesting down here.
Yeah. Yeah, because we can hear you. We can hear you. I got you on speakerphone, so.
I can hear you too. So.
Yeah.
I can hear you too. Yeah.
You can hear Sister Nova, right, brother Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got himself on mute.
Oh, okay. Can he hear me?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Oh, okay. He can hear me. Okay. Yeah. I'm leaving now. I'm leaving the protest now.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I was just talking about that you got your what you call it on mute, brother Gary.
Yeah, take it off mute. Take it off mute.
Okay, I still don't hear him.
Oh Lord.
I still don't hear you. He's talking.
But we can't hear him.
No, we don't hear. I don't hear him.
Oh my goodness. And see, okay. And see, hold on for a minute.
He's talking. I don't hear him.
You want me to call back?
Huh?
You want me to call back and see if that works? Oh, okay.
Oh no, we couldn't hear you.
I can't hear.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear him at all.
No, he don't. I can't hear nothing.
I can't hear him at all.
No, I can't hear him either. Well, he's not coming over my speakers. Yeah, he gonna drop and come back.
Okay. Because I called you from the camera phone.
Yeah.
So you want me to call the regular way?
No, that don't have nothing to do with nothing. I'm on my computer.
Okay.
I'm not on my phone.
Okay.
But anyway, I just wanted to. He was supposed to debate somebody, talk to somebody, and they didn't show up. So I told him I'll come and hang with you for 20, 30 minutes or whatever, because really I'm tired, and I got to go back to the plantation in the morning. I'm not looking forward to that.
I know you're not.
I'm not looking forward to that.
I know you're not.
So I'm gonna give him a minute to come back. He's in a bad area anyway. He said his internet is bad. So, cause I know I was in the area, and my internet, the videos played good. I mean, everything was good, doing good, but it would not connect. It would not let me go live. Everything working just fine, but it would not let me go live. And then, you know, I can't put Talib on speakerphone, because speakerphone and StreamYard, it just don't work. It don't work together at all.
Yeah.
The only way StreamYard and the speakerphone can work is if I'm at home. And see, I got the phone, I got you right under the mic here on my computer. But and then another thing, when I'm on StreamYard on my phone, the volume, for some reason the volume goes down. When I'm using the telephone part and StreamYard, my volume goes down real low. I can't hear nothing. So I don't know. Talib got the same phone that you and me got. I don't know why he can't. You know, I don't know what's wrong with his phone.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna have to be left out. I don't know what to say. But it looks like Gary's not gonna be able to come back. So we just want to come out here, spend a little time. Thank Brother Gary, Sister Noble for joining me these few minutes. Brother Gary was supposed to have some type of semi-debate with this guy, and he didn't show up. A lot of these cats don't show up. You know, I'm gonna tell you, that guy Robert Sampson, whatever he is on Facebook, I told him, I said, I do not bring evidence. If you want to keep believing that stuff, that's your business. I told you the way I feel about it. But now I do know where I can get some evidence. And I referred him to you.
Send it to me.
And that's what I did. And when he left you a comment that is he left you a comment that's
I gotta check it.
Yeah. And
I gotta check it.
There's people that always want evidence when when I'm talking about Malcolm X. I don't give evidence. I refer them to Omar Shabazz. And I have never seen nobody debunk, because he has the evidence that you talk about you want, the documentation that you want, he got it. There's nothing to argue with. You can deny it if you want to, but it's right there, plain black and white. Now what you gonna say? You say you want the evidence, there it is. But see, my thing, and the reason why I don't do that is because most of these people, they said, where's the evidence? They say that out of sarcasm. They're not interested. They're not really interested. They don't really want to know, because it don't make no difference. What you show them, they still gonna say and believe what the hell they talk about. I'm not wasting my time running around, go out of my way trying to, because they're not interested anyway. Like I told you earlier, if I felt as though they, you can tell when people are truly interested in something. And so I will go out of my way for that. But talking to some folks, I can automatically tell, it's just sarcasm. They're not really interested in no evidence. Because see, this is a thing too. I'm not the first person, I'm pretty sure, they done ran into that brought this to their attention. I'm not the first one. I'm very sure many people before me, and they showed them evidence, and they still keep trucking down the road the way they was doing.
Exactly, like me. I done shown a lot of evidence. To Delway, to whoever.
Yeah.
They don't still believe what they want to believe.
Yeah, and they keep trucking on down the road.
no matter what evidence I presented, no matter where I said I got the evidence from, no matter what I say, you know, they still gonna believe it. Like I was when I was a former Christian.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what somebody said, what evidence they had, I still believed it.
Yeah. But
and I've linked it for many, many years.
But see, see what I found different in you though, you always had you still had an open mind. Even your Christianity to me wasn't the normal stuff. Because you still have this love, you still understand racism, white supremacy, and discrimination, you know, all these different things. And your mind was still open to the reality of things. You still wasn't just stuck in this make-believe world where, well, I just let God handle it and I'm gonna live. You understood that, hey, you know, this here exists. We gotta do something. We gotta change. Something's wrong here. And your mind was open because you would really listen to these different opinions. They won't do that. I mean, what is it that you fear? Because a lot of them, they won't listen to other opinion because of the fear that it'll draw them out of their belief. So I better not listen to that because it might make me leave Jesus. I'm like, damn, you that weak? Here I was a follower of Elijah Muhammad teaching. I used to go to church. I went to the Jehovah's Witnesses Hall. I went to the Moorish Science Temple. I went to everybody. I'm going to be a Muslim. This is what I am. I listen to what you have to say. I'm open-minded and whatever, but this is what I am for the time being. This is what I am. There's nothing that you can say that's going to change that. I'm not afraid of your teaching, what you got to say. But see, if we really looking for the truth, and most of us aren't really looking for the truth, because we falling in love with these things that just make us feel good. See, truth, when you're dealing with the truth can make you feel good. It can also hurt your feelings. Like when that brother told me I was losing my hair. Joe Cunningham Jr. told me I'm going bald on the top. I didn't want to hear it. I actually got mad at that man. He was telling the truth. I was losing my hair. I knew I was losing my hair. I used to comb my hair. You know how you comb your hair in a way that cover up the bald spot or whatever. But he was telling the truth. But I did not want to accept the truth because I didn't want to lose my hair. There's nothing I could do about it. That was the reality of it. I was angry at him telling me something I already knew. He didn't have to tell me. I already knew. I just was in denial. Oh, it's coming back. You know, it do this all the time. You know, okay. It's hereditary because my daddy is the same way. It's like George Jefferson. You know, you bald on the top, and then you all your hair grow normal all the way around except on the very top of your head. And I'm not gonna wear my hair like that, so I cut it off. You know, cut all this crap off. But see, that's another thing. They don't want to deal with the truth. They don't want to deal with the reality that there's no invisible being in the universe that give a damn about us and what human beings are doing on this planet. They don't want to accept the fact that we was lied to, and that's just the bottom line. We was lied to. It's not your fault. It's not your parents' fault. This lie been going on for generations. But now we know better. And I'm not going to continue to accept the lie. It's just simple as that. You know, grandma didn't know, grandpa didn't know, great-great-grandma, but I know. So the lie stops with me. It stops. So if I need evidence, I'm going to bring them all to you. And we're going to see how really interested, because your evidence is, woo! They're not going, there's nowhere to run.
Like I said, I don't get a lot of challenges on Facebook.
There's nowhere to run.
I don't get a lot of challenges from people on Facebook.
You've done,
sometimes I get some challenges from people on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah, sometimes I get challenged on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I don't get a lot of challenges. I don't get a lot of challenges from a lot of people. Not on Facebook. Nope. And then ain't nobody really can really refute. You know, can't nobody really refute, you know, nothing really.
I know they can't.
I can't, you know, look. I ain't gonna lie to folks. I ain't gonna lie to folks and tell you straight up. All these biblical characters that y'all think is real, they never existed.
Right.
Moses never existed. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, King David, King Solomon. None of these people actually existed historically. You know, so, you know, I know y'all want to have something to believe in, and, you know, you want to feel good.
Hey, yeah.
You know, you want to feel good, but I'm telling you, you know, you would feel better if you knew the truth. Okay? You would feel a lot better if you really realized the truth. Okay?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you would feel a whole lot better if you knew and realized the truth. Because, you know, the truth will set you free.
Yeah.
That's what the truth will do. It'll set you free. Okay? But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. In the long run, it was really much easier for me to deal with the fact that I was just losing my hair. It was much easier to deal with, just dealing with the reality of it. And I just cut it off. I don't have to worry about them $10, $12, $20 haircuts no more. Buy my own clipper, just cut it off and be done.
Yeah.
You know? Well, anyway, it looks like Gary is not going to come back. And
I was hoping he would come back.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd come back too. He did a lot of talking. I couldn't hear nothing he said.
Hey, did you text him and see if he's coming in?
No. But it's all good. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for a few minutes. And we'll catch you on the flip. Go ahead and shut this down.
Yeah.
You want to know something?
Uh-huh.
I never did go live.
Oh, you did. You going all there talking and you didn't even go live. Sweetie, I did that one time.
Yeah. But
Oh my goodness, I did that one time. Oh my goodness.
But I'm live on Facebook though. I got it on Facebook.
Okay, at least you got it on Facebook.
Yeah, I got it on Facebook.